Forgive me for the technical issue with the sharing. So now we'll go right into the overview of the Exchange DAO. So the Exchange DAO focus on the facilitating meaningful real-time one-on-one online learning and connection section throughout the CED platform. So our goal is not simply to create conversation, but to create transformative exchange that generate learning, reflection, personal growth, and regenerative value. So what's success look like? So we aim to complete more than 500 meaningful one-on-one online session, completed and verified. And we want to build a active network of multi-domain guide and explorer. And also we try, in this DAO, we try to regenerate and to regenerating at least $3,000 in values through our partnerships and exchange activity, and producing strong documentation and impact story that can demonstrate the value of this ecosystem. And finally, this DAO combines community learning, decentralized collaboration, and regenerative experimentation into like one interconnected model. Um, so the next thing will be about the opportunity for you all to share the most important part of this onboarding phase is getting to know each other. So the Padlet space serves as a shared community map where members can introduce themselves and share their background and interests and discover collaborative with aligned passion and goal. So we encourage everyone to complete your introduction card, explore other member profiles, and actively reach out to people that you would like to collaborate with. So the strong collaboration begins with our visibility, familiarity, and the human connection. And then the next step is I want to dive a little deeply into the working group and the role initiated setup. So the first working group is session design and facilitation. So this is the group at the core of the Exchange DAO because it directly creates the one-on-one learning experiences on the CED platform. So its responsibility include design session formats, onboarding guides, facilitate participant experiences, and maintaining session quality. So the groups includes roles such as session designer, guide coordinator, facilitators, and quality assurance contributor. So this working group will transform the DAO vision into real human interaction and learning environment. So the next working group will be the documentation and learning working group that will ensure that the DAO activity are properly recorded, validated, and transformed into reusable knowledge. So this group will handle session logs, evidence validation, reports, reflection, archives, and learning synthesis. So their work is extremely important because documentation is what allows the decentralization collaboration and to remain transparent, accountable, and scalable. The third working group will be the communication and community working group. We focus on storytelling, engagement, and DAO visibility. So this group will create announcement, recap posts, visual content, onboarding communication, and finally community narratives. So their roles is not only promotional, but it is cultural. They will help translate DAO activities into meaningful story that can strengthen the community identity and encourage people participation throughout the activity. The next thing is the regeneration and partnership working group that focus on transforming DAO activities into sustainable and regenerative opportunities. This include developing partnerships, building sponsorship initiatives, connect with the NGOs and university, and exploring sustainable exchange models. So this group will help ensure that the DAO can create long-term value while expanding its reach and impact beyond the internal ecosystem. And finally, I want to introduce the coordination layer that connects all the groups together. So its role is to support governance, weekly synchronization, proposal flow, cross-working group coordination, and communication with the DEP organization and organizer, and the Canberra team that facilitate throughout the activities and the journey. So this layer ensure the alignments across the DAO and helps maintain the momentum throughout the cohort. And I want to introduce the member of the working groups and especially the coordination layer that will support each other throughout the journey. So our DAO leader for the Exchange DAO will be Okiki, who will work with contribution dimension in governance, community impact, and will help with all the session coordination and regeneration strategy coordinator. So for each working group leader, I will show alongside with others working group introduction of the member. So the first working group is group design and facilitation, where we have Sebastian at the, the the lead of the working groups for the dimension of community and impacts. For the working groups in documentation and learning, we'll have the lead is Amit Sava, and who work with documentation and governance with workflow supporting and operation contributor. For working group of communication and community, we welcome the lead Onustala, who will work throughout the journey and will have and welcome other members who will work within the dimension of community and impact. And we have group regeneration and partnership, who we welcome the lead Desari, who will work with the dimension of community, impact, regeneration, and in charge of the contributor of the session and also the community hours support. So that is all for the welcoming members that will work throughout the exchange DAO. So now I will go through the working plan. So now I outline the onboarding phase timeline from May 18 to June 17. So the key priorities during this phase include voting on the meeting schedule, developing the master plan, preparing working group plans, onboarding into DAO tools, and documenting reflection in progress. This is the phase. So this period is foundational because it's established the system, relationships, and operational rhythm that will support execution later on. From June 8 to June 20, the DAO transition into the execution preparation. So during this period, working group plans are finalized, proposals are reviewed, and official XDAO submission and voting take place. So during this stage, it is where the planning become operational readiness. So after receiving the first funding, after we receiving the first funding disbursement, the DAO entered the main execution phase, where the working groups began to implement approved activity, hosting session, documenting outputs, preparing updates for the DEP execution sync event. So this is where all the collaboration become visible impact. And there is the key dates on August 14 that we need as the fixed event. And the next phase will be the stage where we focus on reporting, accountability, and evidence collection. So during this time, we have the documentation that become especially important here because funding transparency and proof of impacts are required for the second payment disbursement. So strong reporting reflects the strong governance within the phase. And the final phase centers on reflection and transition. So the DAO will consolidate learning insight throughout the journey, reflection, documentation, and final reports. So this phase also prepares the community for future opportunity in DEP 3 and beyond. So I will go through the overview of the master plan, working group plan, and qualification checklist. So I will explain the relationship between the master plan, working group, and qualification. So the master plan will define DAO overall direction and governance structure. Working group plans will translate the direction into actionable initiatives. The qualification checklist will ensure that the proposal remains transparent, complete, and aligned with DAO principle before moving into voting and execution. So I will outline the components of a strong master plan. Important areas include mission and direction, impact goals, regeneration strategies, working group structure, budget allocation, collaboration frameworks, reporting system, risk management, and readiness for approval. So the master, so the master plan is acts as a DAO strategic foundation and coordination framework. And you all will have this slide later on for folks to look deeply into the master plan. So I will have the example of the master plan here for you all to revisit and learn more about how to build a good master plan. So the example demonstrate a complete master plan that may look like in Exchange DAO. So the example show the admission center on peer learning and KAT recognition system, execution workflow, or budget allocation approach. So the example are meant to guide members as they begin shaping their own proposal and working group strategies. And you all will have the opportunity to revisit the slide as always as possible that you guys want to focus on. So here are all the layouts that you guys can revisit. That will walk through a lot of category from mission to goal to strategies and to allocation approach. So after we have a look at the example of the master plan, we will talk a little bit more about the working group proposal. So the structure of the working group proposal should clearly define the first thing is objectives, activities, budgets, regeneration strategy, success metrics, documentation plans, and risk. So the purpose is to ensure that every proposal is actionable, measurable, transparent, and aligned with DAO WOW goal. So there is a slide that we provide the example of the working group proposal structure. So more detailed guidance and templates will be shared after the event to support the proposal preparation and submission. So to wrap up, here are our next steps. The first thing is to complete the voting for weekly meeting time slot by following the instruction on the Discord, and the due is today, so please complete the voting as soon as possible. The next thing is to read this member intro card on palette, working group assignment, initial role, and share any suggestion before May 24. And then we can start discussing with your team to finalize the master plan and communicating through the exclusive ED Discord channel. And please check the key milestone for the Exchange DAO on the dev docs regularly. So that is all the information that I want to share with you all for the introduction of the Exchange DAO. And I hope we'll have a best journey together. And the next thing is I will pass the mic to Yun to help introduce the Exchange DAO member. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the sharing. So now in the next 10 minutes, we will have time for exchange DL's members to connect with each other. So now we would like to invite Shamir from Pakistan. So could you share a little about yourself with the other members and tell us what motivates you to join ED? Hi, Shamir. Can you turn your mic? Okay, I think maybe Shamir have a little bit
Hello,
of a technical issue right now. Oh,
am I
oh,
am
thank
I
you.
audible?
Wow.
Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. I am Dr. Shamir. I have done my PhD in education, and now I am working as a professor in government university in Pakistan. I am basically a teacher educator here, and I educate the teacher. In fact, you know that Pakistan is among one of the country where education at the baseline is very weak, and especially the area where I live. So there, most of the children are out of school, and we need quality teachers. So I am trying here to motivate them for education and for the betterment. For a good life. Beside this, I have a good experience. I'm working and I'm running and I'm supervising a few girls' community school without any help of from the pupil. Me and my wife, we are educating about 400 girls. In our area, we provide them free education, free books, free bags, and this platform when I join in, I hope to meet different people, like-minded people, and learn the things from you people and share my own experiences. Thank you.
Uh, okay, thank you so much for sharing, Shamir. I think that your experience could bring a really valuable perspective to the community. So next, can I invite Okiki? Are you here, Okiki?
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
introduce about yourself and also your motivate to join ED?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay, Chinedu Emmanuel from Nigeria. Yeah. I was a part of the DEP One members. I participated in DEP One, which was a very, very interesting program. We I was part of Connect DAO, and its main goal was to find out to create this intergenerational relationship, which I didn't think was actually missing. But when we started, we actually saw that there was a very, very large gap between the relationship of seniors and the juniors. So that was a very interesting program. Now coming down to ED, we might feel like, oh yeah, we will communicate and all of that, but we don't really have like structured communication, peer-to-peer communication between members and peers. So I think this would be a very good opportunity to bring about structured communication, bring about structured peer-to-peer learning between friends, between members, between different people from different countries, so they can share experience, share cultures, and also share the latest things in learning. So I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited to work with other members, the new members of the two. I'm excited to be here. I'm looking forward to working with you guys. I'm looking forward to working with you, Ian, and every other person. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Okiki. I'm really excited to see your today throughout DAP too. Yeah, so is there anyone else want to share yourself, your journey? Hi, oh,
Yes, guys. Thank you for making time and thank you for this exciting opportunity that started. I'm Desiree Haman. I am from Namibia, and I mean, why I joined is that I I like community-led monitoring processes where communities lead themselves. So I empower youth and other communities to lead themselves. So that's the reason why I joined the Exchange DAO, and also to learn from other people. Networking is an important part of the learning. So I joined the Exchange DAO to learn from other people on what can we do, what are the next steps, how can we, I mean, work together as a community, and how can communities lead themselves. So that's the reason why I joined.
Yeah, thank you so much for this, Haman, for your sharing. So I really appreciate your guys' sharing and energy today. So we will now continue to the next session to make sure we stay